story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. South African officials have seized another $5.7 million for yet another arms deal involving Nigeria. This is the second multi-million-dollar arms deal between the two countries in the past month that has resulted in money being frozen in South African banks. The latest transaction is between Zuberas Risk Solutions, an arms broker in Cape Town, and Société d'Equipement Internationale, said to be a Nigerian company based in Abuja. The deal fell apart after the South African outfit, which had earlier received 1 billion naira in its account at Standard Bank, tried to repay the money as it could not resolve its registration formalities with the South African authorities. This was because its registration as well as marketing and contracting permits expired in May this year. The money was seized after the bank became suspicious when the company tried to pay back the money. The South African authorities, however, say there are no indications this transaction is related to the previous one, even though both are still being investigated. Reports from South Africa shows that Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Sambo Dazuki, personally signed off the end-user certificate for the recent arms deal involving the $9.3 million seized in that country. A South African newspaper, City Press, on Monday reported that it has documents in its possession reflecting that it was the NSA that approved the transaction. It added that the deal, which the Nigerian government had said was legal, was for the purchase of items ranging from helicopters to unmanned aircraft or drones. The federal government says relief items worth 500 million naira have been distributed to about 116,000 internally displaced persons in Yobe State. It said the assistance to victims of insurgency in the northeast was approved by Jonathan and was carried out by the Committee on Relief, Procurement and Distribution. A statement from the National Emergency Management Agency revealed that the government had approved 1.5 billion naira for the special committee under the chairmanship of NEMA. While distributing the relief materials in Damaturu, the Director General, NEMA, Sani Sidi, who doubles as the PCRP chairman, says the items were procured based on identified basic needs of the people. He said proper arrangements had been made to ensure direct distribution to the target's beneficiaries, adding that the items would be distributed by members of staff of NEMA in collaboration with the officials of the state government and the cross throughout the state. The spate of crude oil theft in Nigeria has continued unabated, costing the country losses worth billions of naira. Industry watchers are worried that the amount of oil stolen daily could cripple the country's economy in the nearest future if not checked urgently. The Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy on Sunday raided the Majidun area of Ikorodu in Lagos, where thousands of 50-liter containers filled with petroleum products and stored in abandoned buildings in the area were intercepted. Our correspondent, Omotayo, went on a guided tour of the Majidun waterways and filed in this report.
The saying that every day is for the thief and one day for the owner played out against the masterminds of oil theft in Majidun community, Ikorodu, Lagos State. Thousands of 50-liter containers containing stolen petroleum products by pipeline vandals were intercepted on the Majidun waterways following tip-off. CoreTV News gathered that the well-stored product is set for illegal exportation. However, little did these suspected oil vendors know that their trail was about to be discovered by the Nigerian Navy, who deployed its men to sweep the area of all illegal activities. Officials of the Nigerian Navy also disclosed that some of the containers were found in abandoned houses in the community and some outlets built on water. With the magnitude of the illegal activities discovered in this area, it was an Operation No Movement for residents of Majidun, who said the operations of the naval officials started about 4 a.m. Kafayat Ibrahim, a resident of Majidun who was reluctant to speak initially, later disclosed the information at her disposal.
They put kite for there. No do. Now the thing we I know say they do now be down. They do am morning. They do afternoon. For even self they do am. Now anytime they do.
Another resident, Abiodun Austin, said he was glad that government is finally rising up to its duties of nabbing vandals whom he described as enemies of the nation.
We don't have any power to conquer them, but when the government itself open eye and see what is going on, then we are free. It's not anybody that went to report them. It is the government that see them and know that they are really economic sabotage.
The flag officer commanding Nigerian Navy Western Command, Sami Alade, however, opted to give full details of the operation at a press brief that will soon be decided by him.
Two words to describe the activities taking place in this area is economic sabotage. These containers are actually some of the containers found on water. And you know what? There are still thousands and uncountable containers that the Nigerian Navy are still bringing back on land. And you know what? They were found because some of the economic destroyers of the country actually use these containers to export oil to God knows where. But the Nigerian Navy rise up to this challenge. It's expected the Nigerians begin to get into activities that would build the economy of Nigeria and not one that would destroy it. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar III, and Governor Aliyu Wamako of Sokoto State have advocated the creation of state police in the country to tackle insurgency. The two leaders spoke in Sokoto on Sunday when the Sultan paid the traditional Salah homage to the governor. Abubakar, who was the first to speak, said state governments were already spending huge sums of money to provide vehicles and security gadgets, among others, to security agencies in the country. Responding, Wamako said state police, when created, would assist in reducing difficulty currently faced by policemen often deployed to state other than theirs. Fresh crisis has hit the Labour Party following last week's defection of the Ondo State's Governor Olusegun Mimiko from the party to the People's Democratic Party. A group of party members, represented by its National Publicity Secretary Ikpe Etokudo, on Sunday dissociated themselves from the proposed National Convention slated for October 11 in Akure, the Ondo State capital. However, national chairman of the party, Dan Nwanyao, revealed that Etokudo has since been relieved of his appointment and suspended from the party. According to him, there was no way a suspended member can act or speak on behalf of the party in any capacity. A statement by Tokudo had advised all party members, especially those wishing to vie for elective positions on the platform of the party, not to patronize or have anything to do with the PDP-sponsored National Convention holding in Akure, Ondo State. He described the gathering as illegal, adding that anything that emanates from it would be null, void, and therefore have no consequence whatsoever. Trust politicians to cash in on opportunities. This is the story in Osun State as ambitious members of the All Progressives Congress, with eyes on the 2015 general elections, seize the occasion provided by the Idil Kabir celebration to thank and raise support to thank their supporters and other party faithful for their support to Rauf Aregbesola during the August 9 governorship election. Rashid encountered one of the parties at Ilobu in Osun State and brought back this report.
drawing party faithfuls from Oshogbo, Olorunda, Orodu, and the Irekpodun local government areas forming a federal constituency. The Itesiwaju group, one of the proponents of the re-election bid of Aregbesola, chose no better time than this festive period to celebrate the governor's victory. Not oblivious of the case at the election tribunal, this APC chieftain expresses confidence that Aregbesola will repeat his winning streak.
I know justice say anything against me unless you are able to prove it. If you make any allegation against me unless you are able to prove it. And I know what allegation made against Aregbesola could never be proved.
The host and the leader of Itesiwaju Group, Wole Adabi, also used the opportunity to declare his ambition for the House of Representatives under the APC come 2015.
If we keep doing the same thing the same way every time, we're going to get the same answer. So we need to change the way we do things, and I'm representing that change. So what we intend to do is to strengthen our party so that the party becomes the main structure of decision making. So we're going to bring change into every strategy of this government.
The fact that many other APC members, among them the incumbent Lassan Yusuf, have shown interest in the seat notwithstanding, Alabi believes his chance is bright in the primary and the election proper.
The masses are behind us. So they say one with God is a majority. The God Almighty is with us, irrespective of provocations, irrespective of attack. We are better physical or otherwise. We have resolved irrevocably to continue with this project. And it's a project that is supported by the masses and the Almighty around.
Only time will tell if this victory party will be repeated by the group after the election in 2015. Rashid, CoreTV News.
It's the CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with more reports. Stay with us.
Welcome you to From the Ivory Tower. On happenings around the country, varsity teachers get to air their views. Students are actually not left out. We bring you intellectual ends from the events happening around you. This is dedicated to educating the populace with a spice of entertainment.
From the Ivory Tower, Tuesdays, only on CoreTV News.
Thank you for being there. Protesting factory workers of a Lagos-based hair product manufacturing company have accused the management of ill treatment of its staff, which they claimed led to the death of one of their colleagues. The body of Atukpo Wisdom, who according to them died on Wednesday, September 24th, was later discovered at the back of the company's premises. The angry workers say the death of their colleague is the last straw that has broken the camel's back. They decry bitterly the stringent measures used by the management to compel workers to perform their duties. Omatayolo has more.
They have not permitted to work. They are working illegal. When people are dying inside, this thing is illegal. Please, see what we bring from Alausa yesterday. See.
These workers are bent on taking their freedom by force from the management of Linda Manufacturing Company, even if it costs them their jobs. The unjust practice, according to them, has been on for a very long time.
The guy went before his group leader, and the group leader refused to give him permission, and that was what caused the death of this innocent guy.
How can you be working here? You are not permitted to go for a sick leave. Even if you tell them you are sick, they will tell you, oh, guy, if you no one work, stop work. What does that mean? Is it in the Constitution? I'm asking. Oh, guy, if you don't say you don't feel work, resign. It has happened to me, and I'm a witness to it. We can be sacked for what we are doing, but I don't care. Even if I am sacked, but leaving a good legacy behind is what matters most. Please, I'm begging, for God's sake, come to our aid, please.
Right in front of the Shots Factory gate, the publicity secretary of the Campaign for Democracy and Workers, Chinedu Bosa, took out time to address them, promising legal action against the company.
I'm calling on the Fashola-led government to continue to seal this company until the management meets the demands of workers. And these are some of the demands. And true, they must end this piece rate work policy, where we are expected to meet a certain target. Even if you don't meet that target till 12 midnight, you are supposed to be in work till that very moment. For those who are nursing mothers, they can't go home to attend to their children. They must be in workplace until they meet their target. Sometimes those targets are as a result of their management's inability to provide the necessary tools and materials to work with. So sometimes they keep them here till 10 p.m. before they close.
Workers say they were tear-gassed every time they gathered to protest. They, however, say they are bent on seeking justice as the company didn't comply with the stop work order issued by the Lagos State Safety Commission. On a mission to inquire from the Lagos Safety Commission on why the seal order was not adhered to, a member of staff who attended to us on behalf of the Director General of the Commission, Dominga Odebomi, says the Commission cannot issue any statement on it now. The protesting workers have, however, vowed to seek justice. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Akpaja community in outskirts in Ibadan, the state capital, is calling on the state government to urgently complete the bridge linking it to its neighboring environments. CoreTV News' Omotayo Alo recently undertook a journey to the area and brought back this report.
This resident is not pleased with the pace of work and the reconstruction of the bridge. He accused the government of taking residents for granted, while also pointing to the absence of contractors at the site as abandonment of the project.
If we look at this thing, they have abandoned this thing again. Are we going to say that there is no money in this country or there is no money in Oyo State? So let's just be realistic about everything we are doing. So everybody is a politician. So they are just trying to play politics against us. So we are wiser than all the whatever the talk they are saying.
The State's Commissioner for Works, Polade, in his reaction stated that the government wants the best for its citizens, adding that it has no intention of depriving them of something that's important.
And we made a pledge that time that Akwete Bridge will become passable, by October. And the whole work will be completed by December. There's a close monitoring for the job that is going on there. Even the 3 beams that we are talking about, it was the ministry officials that went here and we noted, oh no, we will not allow this beam to be used because we are not just constructing a bridge, we are doing a first-class international standard project in that place, which we expect that, it will be there serving the people for a long time.
Acknowledging the efforts of government so far on the bridge, the leader of the community commended the governor for rising promptly to the demands of the community by promising to provide all the necessary amenities in addition to completing the bridge under construction. He, however, prayed for the quick fulfillment of his promises.
What we need is to help us to complete all these things. Like he promised of the road leading to Akufo that he will do it when they finish the bridge. We didn't see the hand on that road because the road from Akwete to Akufo is very worst, and we thank him very much for what he has been doing for us because we don't expect this thing from his government. It was God that led him know the right thing and the right time to do it for the people of my area.
The collapsed bridge used to service residents of about 5 communities, including Ibadan Polytechnic, Akpete, and Awoton. These areas are also largely populated by staff and students of the University of Ibadan. All that starts well should end well. The collapsed Akpete Bridge have, of course, raised a lot of controversy in this community. While government say they are making efforts to building a state-of-the-art bridge, residents say the construction is taking too much time. But their message to government is actually to expedite work and make this bridge come back to life as soon as possible. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
The deplorable state of roads at the Riverview Estate has been a major source of concern for the residents, workers and those who have businesses in Isheri North, a local government area of Ogun State. Emmanuel Ajayi has more as in this report presented from our studios.
These residents and workers at the Sherry North Ifo local government area of Ogun State said the poor state of roads within their environs has crippled many businesses and also made life difficult.
If we carry 200 blocks from our site, before we go to the main road, we have damages of 20 or 30 blocks.
Can't even wash the car. When we wash the car, few minutes just to drive outside, the car will be very dirty.
Also speaking on our flagship program called Digest, Chairman Landlords and Residents Association, Riverview Estate, Akinde Abayomi says the bad state of the roads within Isheri North, especially Riverview Estate, is a major source of stress for residents and other visitors.
We took it upon ourselves to maintain the road filled with laterite, sometimes with stones, and we've been doing that over the years. But with the advent of rainy season, things got seriously bad. As we speak now, in fact, some parts of this road are so bad that small cars cannot even pass through. You need a jeep in order to move, on that road as we speak now.
He, however, says efforts made to put the road in good condition so far has not yielded any results.
This area, we have a peculiar problem because of the terrain, because of the soil nature here. We don't have good water. As an individual, you cannot sink a successful borehole here. Now, we wrote to the governor about this. He minuted the letter to the General Manager, Ogun State Water Corporation. We've been following up. In fact, we said we are going to contribute for them to know, because they were saying, are we going to pay? We're not going to see it as a social service that we are not going to pay for. I said, we are willing to pay. We are going to pay. And to demonstrate our commitment, we task ourselves, we raised over 5 million naira as counterpart funding, so to say. For them to know that we are going to pay. Take this money. We have the money in the account. That we are not looking for free service. We just want the Ogun State Water Corporation, the government, through the Ogun State Water Corporation, to provide us water, no roads. Everything is in complete shambles.
He called on the Ogun State government to do more in putting infrastructure in place, devoid of any consideration.
We'll take another break now, and when we return, we'll bring you a story on Hong Kong protests. Don't go away.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Pro-democracy demonstrators in Hong Kong appear to be withdrawing from some protest sites and regrouping at the main site outside government buildings. But student protesters denied blocking entrances to government headquarters and insisted civil servants could return to work. They said they would agree to the government's offer of talks if attacks on them are investigated and protest sites are not forcefully cleared. Hong Kong's leader says public offices and schools will open on Monday. The protesters are angry at China's plans to vote election candidate in 2017. They are demanding that a central government in Beijing allow Hong Kong to hold fully free elections in the next vote for the territory's leader. Reports says the number of protesters has dwindled and many do not relish a brave last stand in the face of an expected forceful eviction by police. Hong Kong Chief Executive Zi Liang had called on the protesters to end the demonstrations, warning that police had a responsibility to take all actions necessary to resume social order. And that's it on the news for this time. Join me again at 9:45 for the primetime news. Thank you for watching. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle.